Hi guys, welcome to my February reset. I'm very excited to do a reset as always. We have some fun things planned. So we are going to do my monthly reading journal spread as always. So we're going to do my February one. I'm a little nervous because I don't really have a plan. I'm a little burnt out from my reading journal. I think because of all the spreads I did for the start of the year. Yeah, I'll get more into that once we get to my reading journal and doing the spread. But I have an idea, but I'm not sure how I'm going to execute it, so we'll see. But I thought it'd also be fun to do a spread for my junk journal. So this is my new junk journal for 2025. I have a video up of me setting it up, decorating it, doing the first few pages. So you can check that out if you like, but I thought it'd be fun to do my January wrap-up spread with you guys. So in my last junk journal, I like to do a spread at the end of each month with just pictures from the month. I didn't do a lot of them in my junk journal. I think I did maybe 3 in total. So I'd like to do one every month this year. So I thought that'd be fun to do with you guys. Why not add extra journaling content? I've been obsessed with watching journaling content lately, so I thought, why not put more of my videos? So we are also going to go through my TBR as always. We're going to do a mini wrap up of the books I read in January, and we're going to set up my photo album for 2025. So we have quite a few things planned. I'm very excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think firstly we should get into my reading journal. I love doing that first. So we're going to set up my spread for February. We will do that together, of course, and then I'll come back and talk to you guys about the spread. So let's get into my reading journal. Hey guys, so I have finished my reading journal spread. I hope you can't hear my laptop exporting a video. It is extremely loud because it's working so hard to export one little video. But that's just how MacBooks work. So anyways, yeah, I finished the spread for February. I thought I took a little bit about my inspiration for this spread, why I came up with this spread. So a while ago I was journaling in my reading journal and I was putting all the markers away, and I had 3 markers together, these specific colors, and I was like, wait, that's a really good color scheme. So I was like, I should do this color scheme for my February spread. And then when it came to actually like planning out my spread and everything, I know I'm gonna do like a sunset, but I also got this cherry blossom washi tape, and I also wanted to do like something cherry blossom related. So I was like, a sunset and cherry blossoms go great together. I also feel like cherry blossoms kind of work with Valentine's Day, like the love theme of February. So I was like, oh my god, this is a great idea. Sometimes when I do my reading journal spreads, I don't really have an idea in mind, and other times I have like this idea I come up with, and I always feel more relaxed when I have an actual idea instead of just going in blind. So yeah, we had my little spread. I wanted to do a window because in June of last year I did this window drawing, and I wanted to do another one, and I thought this was like a great opportunity to do another one. But this one was basically like copied from Pinterest. Like I just completely copied everything in that photo I found, so I wanted to do something that I came up with, and I really like how it turned out. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how it was gonna look, you know. I've never really drawn cherry blossoms and stuff, so I didn't know how it was gonna turn out, but I really like it. I used olive color pencil and then some marker on top. I'm loving using more color pencil in my spreads. So we have the first page with February. I did this gradient with the letters that I used to do all the time, and then I stopped doing it. The last time I did it was in March, I think. So I thought this was the perfect spread to do it again since it's a sunset. Yeah, I really like it. I think I might have overdone it a little bit with the stars and everything. I went a little overboard. I tend to do that a lot. I tend, especially with my reading journal spreads, like the cover page, it shouldn't be too much in my opinion. Like I like when it's kind of more simple, but I always go overboard. I should have just kept like the cherry blossoms, but I was like, oh, it's too empty, so I need to add more, and then I add stars, and it's just too much. I'm a little annoyed at myself, but it's okay. And then we have the reading tracker page, which is very similar to my previous ones. I used the washi tape. This is the first time I've used washi tape in a reading journal spread. I was very excited because a lot of people tend to use washi tape, especially Katie's reading and Cassandra reads, and so I was really excited to use washi tape, even though it's really silly. But yeah, and then I use these star stickers. I've been using so many of them. I have almost none left. These little like gemstones. Really liked how that turned out. And then we have my books red page, pretty similar to every other month. I did add some washi tape and some stars here to add a little bit of something to the spread. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm really happy. And then I also did glue in the game board for Katie's Readings Readathon, Away with the Fairies, which I think I'll talk about when I go through my TBR. So yeah, I did stick this in. I had a little trouble because I kept messing up and then it ripped a little, but anywho, I just stuck it in. And I think my plan is to stick the books I read onto these spaces I land on. That is my plan, but it's also like, it's such a beautiful game board. The illustration is so beautiful, so I was really excited to actually just have this in my journal. Like I didn't do anything else with it, but yeah. So that is my spread for February. I thought we could do a very mini wrap up of January. I didn't do a wrap up cottage this month because I just was not feeling it. I did try to make one, I wasn't liking it, so I just scrapped it. I think because I was doing so much journaling, like I mentioned before, I was doing so much journaling at the start of the year in my reading journal that I was kind of burnt out a little. So I didn't do one this month, but I will talk a little about what I read. So I read 4 books, less than I was hoping to. I did read a lot overall, but I didn't finish all of the books I read. Like I'm halfway through heaps of books at the moment. But yeah, I read 4 books. My favorite was Anatomy. I rated this a 4.75. We have Lovers War 11, Shadow Me, and Freren Volume 2. I thought I could also show you my trackers and how they're looking. So we have my rating tracker. We just have 2 readings there at the moment. And then my books read spread. Lastly, my library spread. I think next let's get into my TBR. Okay, let's talk about my February TBR. So we have a bit of a weird TBR this month and I'll explain why. So we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books here. So the thing is, I'm planning to do a readathon this month with Katie's Readings Patreon, and the readathon is like a board game styled readathon. The spaces you land on have like a TBR prompt. So I don't know exactly which books I'm gonna read. So I have these books I would like to pick from. I put together, as you guys saw, a bunch of the books on my TBR that I want to get to next, that I really want to reach to. Some of them I've been putting on my past like monthly TBRs a lot and I haven't been able to get to them, so I've decided to put them here in my cart where I had like books that I recently hoard, so that way I have them all in one space and I can pick from them. So instead of having a really big monthly TBR, I thought I'll just put the books here I want to pick from, and when I do those prompts in the readathon, I will pick from books here. And then we have some other books I'm planning to read separately, kind of. So The Paradise Problem, I'm reading for a different video and I want to get it finished. I'm like halfway through the book. This is by Christina Lauren. I've never read a book by these authors before. I've been hesitant to pick one up, but my friend Can really recommended it to me. She was like, you should pick it up. It was a really fun, easy read. I picked it up from the library, which I need to read more like novels from the library. I read a lot of manga from the library, but I really need to read more novels from the library. So I'm happy I've picked this up and I have been enjoying it. I won't go into like my thoughts and everything obviously, but it is like a fun beach read. We then have 2 books from the Veronica Speedwell series. So this is also related to Katie's Readings Patreon. So she's doing a buddy read for like the whole series. So, and they're starting the second book, a perilous undertaking, in February. I wanted to pick up both the first book and the second book. I haven't read A Curious Beginning. I did borrow it exactly a year ago, January 2024, and then I never read it. So I picked it back up. I'm going to try and read it and read the series with them. I've always wanted to read the series and I feel like now's the perfect time to read it. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to read these, maybe in the readathon, maybe separately. We'll have to see. I think they're set in like the Victorian era. They're like mysteries with a romance. I think it's more focused on the romance. I think it follows the same 2 characters in all of the books, and there's quite a lot of books in this story. So I'm like, is it like a really long slow burn, or are they together like earlier on and then you're just following their romance? I don't know. I'm very intrigued to see what I think. But I've read quite a few Victorian like era books that I've really enjoyed, and I've heard this is a really funny series. So I'm very excited to get into it. We then have 2 books from the Shadow Me series. So we have the novella Unite Me, which includes Destroy Me and Fracture Me. Wait, it's called Unite Me, but it has 2 different novellas in it. Is this what Unite Me is? I don't know. This series is so confusing. I think this is the next thing I'm supposed to read. So this is a novella for the Shadow Me series. So this is the second book. And then we have Unravel Me. Pretty sure is the 3rd book. I read Shadow Me in January. I have a whole reading vlog planned that should come out with me reading the whole series, so I'm not going to talk much about my feelings, but I really want to get through this series, and they are fast reads kind of, especially like the novella. I think I'll definitely be able to get to, and I read these like separately from my reading vlogs. Like my readathon, I won't be reading these in the readathon, so I'll be reading these on the side while I'm reading other books. So yeah, but those are like the 5 books on my TBR that I really want to get to, but then we also have other books that I didn't want to put on my TBR again because I've already put them in so many TBRs, and I felt a little annoying repeating myself and being like, I want to read this book again and again. I haven't gotten to it, so I'm very happy to have all the books here so I can see them. And there's just been so many books recently that I'm like, I need to pick that up, I need to pick that up, I need to pick that up. So I've just put them together and I can hopefully try to get to them. But yeah, that's like my little February TBR. It is really like a big TBR, but anywho, I feel like it's achievable to get to all of these books. So that's the plan. I thought next we should do my January wrap-up spread for my junk journal. I still need to get all the pictures and print them out and everything, so we'll do that a little later. But I will set up the spread with you guys, of course, and then we'll talk a little about it after I finish it. So yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. Okay, so I have finished my spread in my junk journal, so let's talk a little about it. We did my January wrap up. I really like how it turned out. I used some paper that I printed as a background. I did the same like kind of theme I did in my previous journal where I just printed out a bunch of pictures from the month, mostly books, my cats, one photo of me, flowers. Yeah, very simple. It's not really in depth. I might do another spread where I like kind of talk about a recap of my January. Don't really have much to say about it, to be honest, but I had fun doing this in my like reset. I always like I said, love journaling, so I always like to put more in my videos. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little spread. But as I mentioned at the start of the video, I wanted to set up my new photo album for 2025, but I've decided I'm not going to do that in this video because I don't have the new photo album yet, because I still haven't decided what photo album I want to get. I was thinking of getting the same one as last year, but I kind of want to get one that's like a little prettier. The one I did get, I'm not bothered to pull it out, it's like just black. I decorated the front, but I want one that looks a little prettier. I know there are some like on Amazon, but I've seen reviews saying like they break and stuff, so I don't know. I don't want to spend too much money, so I'm going to leave that till later, and I'm not going to do that in this video, but as like a little consolation, is that the right word to use? Instead, I'm going to go through my hobonichi with you guys. So I just want to show you all of the spreads I did in January. I thought that'd be fun to do. So we have my January monthly setup. I just decorated it with a bunch of stickers. In here I just put like appointments and birthdays and stuff, but I don't really have a lot to put in my calendar spread, so I just decorated it at the end of the month. Once I was sure all of like the dates and stuff were filled out, all the things I need to write down, and then we will go through. So in my hobonichi, I did talk a lot about this in my doing book stuff video, I think. I basically, instead of using this as a planner, I will write down what I do every single day in the week, and then I will do a collage of photos from that week and books I read, stuff like that. So this is week 1, my first week of doing it. Really like it. It's very simple, but I really like it. Week 2, week 3, this is one of my favorites, I think. Oh, okay. Week 4, this one I just did. I really like this spread. I love the colors. I feel like every time I do one of these spreads, I like it more and more than the last one. Like every one I do, I really like. But then I do a new one, I'm like, I like this even more. So I don't know. And I've been very up to date with it, like keeping up to date with it every single day. Sometimes throughout the day, I'll write down what I'm doing and then continue to fill it out throughout the day. But yeah, I've loved having this, and it's like motivated me to do other journaling and like my junk journal and stuff. So absolutely love my hobonichi so far, and I thought it'd be fun to just show you all of my collages because I'm obsessed with them, so I want to share them. And I've been using like, I've started using like screenshots from videos I'm filming because I'm filming them throughout the week, so I want to add screenshots from that week and stuff and photos from that week. This one, it looks a little silly. I don't know if you can see, but there's like white lines throughout the pictures. When I first printed it, there was blue lines throughout it, and then I like cleaned my printer, which I didn't know you could do by pressing buttons, I don't know. And so it came out with white lines instead in it, which my printer was working perfectly, like nothing wrong with it for like a year, and it was working so well. I was honestly like shocked that my printer was working that well, because printers are never easy to deal with. Like they're messing up all the time, and the printer I'm using used to mess up all the time, but it's been working well for so long. And then randomly I decided to like look at my library to see where I could like print other stuff, other photos and stuff instead, because I didn't want to use too much of my ink. And that's when my printer started going downhill, and I'm like, what are the chances? I'll stop rambling about my printer. But that is all for my reset. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was very journaling heavy, but like I've said a million times, I love journaling, so I wanted to put more journaling content. Hopefully this month is better for reading. I'm gonna be a bit busy, but I am really excited to read, and I really do want to get more reading done. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys very soon in another video. Thank you so much for watching. You can check out my book Instagram if you like, and you can add me on Goodreads and I'll add you back. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye!